Hey everyone! Before we get this episode started, I'm going to ask you to please follow us on Instagram at LikablePod. Follow me on Instagram at David Stickle Comedy, which is also my website, davidsticklecomedy.com, and my YouTube at David Stickle Comedy. Please follow, support there. Subscribe to the newsletter, which can be found on the Instagrams or on the websites. That would be greatly appreciated. Please, subscribing on YouTube makes a huge difference if you care about that. If you don't care about making a difference, why even listening to this? Seriously, you should just hit fast forward 30 seconds and you'll be somewhere in the intro, I assume. I don't know. I don't time these things. Who does? Who could? Who would? But yeah, please make sure you do that. Thank you, and enjoy this week's episode.
You got jokes and you're insightful, but are you likable? You got jokes, you're the host and are you likable?
All right, cool.
What does that mean?
So I can sync up audio and video at the same time.
You have to clap?
Oh, no. Oh, I was recording.
Is that the only way to do that?
Well, it creates like a sound spike when you're watching audio. It creates a spike.
I need to know this.
Okay. Well, remember I was explaining that really annoying thing about
clap your hands.
Yeah. If you're recording and you know it, clap your hands, clap. If you're recording, and this will be out of sync anyways, so it doesn't matter. That's painful. All right, so we've kind of talked about this plenty ahead of time. There's nothing last minute that you want to cover or don't want to cover last minute before we start rolling.
Like dead air while I wait and think.
Sure. So much editing. So much editing. Hello and welcome to Likable, a show where we discuss stand-up comedy from an entry-level perspective. I'm your host today, David Stickle, and we're joined by Brittany B. Rose. Do you want me to say your last name?
No, we don't have to.
Okay, we're going to say Brittany B. Rose. That's it. We're leaving it there. We're not doing anything else. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Brittany is my best friend. She comes to pretty much a lot of the shows, almost all.
Way too many
shows. Miserable. All of these shows. You're on record for hearing the most little dick jokes for a non-comedian in the Hudson Valley in New York. I believe you set the Guinness for that. Probably, yeah. Painful. Painful. How are you?
I am good. I'm excited to do this.
Excited, yeah.
You know? Carl, your feedback means the most of anybody on this because I am technically a non-comedian, but I would like to think that I'm worth a listen.
Yeah, Carl.
So we're going to call Carl out real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking at the camera. There's not a person there. I'm just Carl, you're our exit song now. Carl, he's there. So I mean, he kind of has to watch every episode.
He's actually one of my favorite comedians, and he is very funny himself. I do love a good silly joke, but mostly because of the way he gets you. He gets you to belly laugh, and he's one of the few comedians I've ever seen get you to belly laugh, and so I just love that.
Carl,
it's almost like you're mad when he gets you to laugh that hard.
Yeah, well, it pisses me off because I'll spend so much time writing a joke and doing all these oh, it's almost like a metaphor for this and doing all that kind of stuff. And Carl's like, stop! Mic twirl. And I'm just like, fuck. Why does that make me laugh so much?
I love it.
But him and Ted the Impressionist and Impressionist make me laugh very much.
I think it's just that silly, you're almost caught off guard humor, you know?
Yeah, that's how I know I'm getting older. Yeah. Because that stuff makes me laugh.
The dad jokes?
Yep.
I do love that.
Getting there.
And I will say, it is important to note that I did try open mics. I did 3 of them.
Yep, very entry-level comedy.
Yes, I almost did Levity Live. I almost bit that bullet, but I didn't get there. And it's just not my shindig, I think, doing the mics. But it was important to get that experience because you can definitely judge people on their performances, but it's very different once you get the experience of being on the stage. I even remember I never made it to Levity because it was always a larger crowd, which was a little intimidating to me, and I can be intimidated by that. But I remember helping you on a Don't Tell, and I did the introduction. And before that, I had been pretty confident with the microphone and talking to people and stuff. but it got me. I couldn't see very well because of the way the light was. You know what I mean? Like a lot of things that I didn't understand the way people handled it. I was like, oh, I get it now. Like now I see where when you can't see the audience, it definitely changes things. The light in your face, like there's a lot that changes with like very minimal details.
Which Don't Tell was because you did like the intro of the host, right?
The February one, I think. Yeah.
Okay. For those of you that don't know, the intro of the host is basically like the voice of God, but they go up first instead of just having a microphone in the back of the room.
Yeah.
You got to go up there, and the spotlight in your face is different, and that's interesting because the levity mic is one of the only mics that I know of where
Spotlight is in your face.
You can't see the crowd. Yeah, and that's very. I believe we've talked about it on the drive back from levity, where I'm just like I couldn't tell the feedback or who was doing what in the back of the room.
Which for that reason, it kind of does feel like a good thing because not being able to see the feedback, you have to just rely on like doing your performance. You can't change based on, you know what I mean? Like
For sure.
But at the same time, that is nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking to not be able to tell what's going on in front of you.
Yeah, I do. It helped me realize how much I rely on nonverbal cues a lot, and I'm just like, are they even liking this? Because it's an open mic; they don't laugh.
Yeah.
It's very rare, and so like not getting laughs and then not seeing if they're smiling is so painful. You're like, fuck, dude. This is like, why am I even doing this?
Why are you even doing this?
I don't know. I need more attention, apparently. Yeah. This podcast is part of that too. I just need more attention. Do you have a favorite mic that you like to go to? Open mic.
Open mic, I guess. Not really. I do love levity. Just because I feel like you get a good mix of people there, and I feel like often that's where I see people I haven't seen before. I think Jersey plays into that a lot, where people pop in from, like, you know what I mean? You just get more area covered, I think, at the levity mic.
There are people you don't see as often, too.
Yeah, so I think that one is fun. It just feels usually like a different experience of a mic. Otherwise, the Kingston ones feel like they're kind of across the board very similar. And, the Krog mic is amazing every time.
Oh, shameless plug. July 23rd. So, that's our next one. I don't know if this will come out before then, but
I do think levity probably, if I had to pick one, I would say is the favorite. And it's just the characters that you get to see.
I think I know the answer to this. Do you have a favorite show you like to go to?
That's hard. Because
I know the answer to this.
They've changed a lot. You're not producing some of the same shows that you were producing. So if I'm going to really classify, I love Don't Tells. I feel like the quality of comic and lineups on Don't Tells is fantastic most of the time. It's a little bit... I feel like you have to prove your worth a little bit more on a Don't Tell.
Okay. Whereas
on other shows, sometimes it can be a little bit more who you know, and you know what I mean? Like there's some of that. So I feel like I also feel like you get a larger spread sometimes of people from different areas, again, with Don't Tell. So I think that's why I just think I see more people with those. Otherwise, it's the Krog shows. I've been to every one.
Okay, I guess wrong. I guess
What were you going to say?
I was going to say Sloop.
I do love a Sloop show.
And you want to know why?
But you haven't been producing them for a while.
They were just on a summer break.
Yeah, so like in my mind, they don't exist anymore.
But I was going to say, like, I know you like Sloop because
I get to eat
the food. Yeah, yep.
I love a Krog show because I feel like I get to have my own little like.
Well, you have your own table.
Yes.
And you have your own, Brittany's gotten very comfortable at the Krog shows. Rightfully so. You bake cookies for the comics, and they're becoming famous.
I'm part of the lore.
You're part of the Krog comedy lore.
I have baked cookies or brownies for pretty much every Krog show, I think. Maybe there's like one or two I missed in there.
Yes, this has resulted in Brittany using the kitchen refrigerator to keep her ice cream in there. So she makes cookies for other comics, but she brings her own ice cream to the show. It's being stored in the Krog refrigerator. So
listen, ice cream and cookies go really well together.
They do. I don't think you eat the cookies though. You just bring your own ice cream.
Sometimes I do.
It's like lavender ice cream.
Sometimes it is. Gross. Sometimes it's not. Well, I can't leave chocolate ice cream because you'll eat it.
That is true. I don't eat ice cream at work. I don't know. I know. I regretted it. I did it once and regretted it.
I didn't see at one point like Snickers and Twix ice cream bars hanging out in the Krog freezer. That never happened.
If they were there, they were not mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they were, but I remember one time seeing like a bunch of like little ice cream bars in the freezer.
There was
Look, now you're getting guilty. You're like, well, you didn't name the right one. You didn't specify the exact
I will
right
specify.
one.
There was Klondike ones.
That might have been what it
in
was.
there, and those definitely weren't mine.
That might have been it.
Yep.
I don't remember what it was, but I definitely blamed you.
I don't really go for. I don't fuck with the Klondike bars on a reg. They won't be. They won't be a sponsor of this podcast.
I do love a Choco Taco, which might be by the same company though. So that'd be
Good Humor.
I have no idea.
I don't know. What would you do for a Klondike bar? This is a very fun song to sing.
Song to sing. That's the point. That's marketing, right?
Yes. Yes.
Now, if only Likable was a better. Just kidding.
Wow. She's attacking you already, Carl. Yeah.
I was talking about the one that you made. Not
I believe that
remake.
some people commented on videos. I'm not going to say who, but some people commented on the YouTube page and said that we missed the old theme song. And I'm not. So one of them is on tape right now.
Somebody was not me.
Sure.
Dave
sure.
commented on his own.
All right. So comedy. What's it called there?
I did do, unless you have a question.
No, go ahead.
I did do those open mics, like I had said. And one thing I did want to talk about is writing as well, comedy. I feel like I've listened to a lot of people talking about their writing process and everything else, which has been a lot of fun. Because I don't know if anybody kind of does it the exact same way. So it's cool to hear and compare and like pick up different things from other people. A lot of when I did my open mics, my way of doing it was trying to think of a funny story like in my life that I've told friends and I've laughed and like been like, oh my God, this story was not only funny to me, but it was like weird, bizarre, maybe a little bit traumatic, you know what I mean? And trying to make light of that situation, which is what makes it kind of funny. And then telling it in the way that I would to feel out what makes it funny and then finding a way to add in the little details, like the tags, I guess is what you would call it, tags. You know? That's kind of like been my process. So I guess that makes it more storytelling by nature. I've never been good. The tags are a little rough sometimes, and that's where I know I'm not a comedian. And like the one-liner jokes are not my thing at all. I know I've given you some tags from time to time on your stuff, but I think that's so easy to do when you have an outside perspective on something because you don't have all of like the preconceived thoughts about the joke and where you were coming, you know what I mean? So it's easy from an outside perspective to just be like, this is a thing you didn't like think of because you thought of all this other shit, you know what I mean?
I also think like tags are easier to do for other people's work because there is a moment where they start to lead up to something and your brain is trying to anticipate where it's going to go. And then you come up with something and that person says something that you didn't expect, you know, and then you're like, whoa, they forgot about this aspect of it. Or just like different walks of life, right? I'm a dude, you're a gal. Like there's, you know, you see one situation different than I do, you know? So you're like, hey, I don't know if you thought of this, but...
I think that's why I love talking with you after the shows about the jokes and the different things that we saw because it's a lot of fun to kind of like give your perspective on, you know what I mean? Like other people, like not... I don't know how should I say this? Give your perspective on other people's kind of like jokes or concepts or what they're doing. You know, not that I don't know. It's fun.
It is fun. It's
kind of like a writer's room, but like the person who wrote the jokes may not be there.
It's fun because it's like sometimes you're like, man, I wish they said this. Or you're like, I was thinking this, but what they said was so much better than what I thought they were going to say.
Yes,
you know?
definitely.
And like, because sometimes people just really surprise you and it's just like really cool, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also cool too. Like we were in the car with Gabrielle and they were like, so one of the jokes I had commented, I was like, that reminds me of like an old grandma. And they were like, yes, that's exactly what I was going for. My grandma inspired that. And I was like, I love that. I love when what you pick up is exactly what the comedian was trying to portray because I feel like that just is an attest to like how, you know, like how much they worked on that writing. You know what I mean? They really thought about that to give you that vision in your head and that feeling, you know? I think that's pretty cool.
When the opposite of that happens. painful. I was just talking about this. We recorded a couple episodes yesterday, but I was talking about this in Boston. I was doing a set and I was talking about my dad when he was sick, right? And then I brought it into the banana splits thing and the Tale of Two Tammies and a whole bit. And then Travis heard somebody in the crowd and told me later, I felt like he just kind of trauma dumped on us. And I'm like, you didn't get it. Just trying to make fun of it.
Which honestly, that's what gave me the bravery, I'll say, to do open mics, is because sometimes that is what it is when you go to open mics. People are up there, and I'm not sure if it's trying to just get through some raw stuff to try and find the funny, because you know how sometimes you're talking about it and that's where you can get to it, or if people just really need a room of people to listen to them for a little while, which is fair enough. It's an open mic and you kind of get that freedom.
Yeah.
But I will say it can be hard to sit through some of those. And when I did, I was like, if that is what some people are doing at open mics, if I go up and do a bad set because I'm new at it, it's really not a big deal. The bar is very low as far as judgment at open mics. And that is,
sure,
I think, something that's so important for people to know and recognize. Like, if this is something you want to do, like, the bar, give it a shot. Like, you are not going to be the worst person anyone in that room has ever seen. That's hands down.
I mean, you've obviously
unless
never... certain comedians...
Unless you're blatantly racist and rude, and you know what
I'm thinking of somebody specifically right now.
Do I know this person?
I don't know if you've seen this person perform.
Now we just turn this into 20 questions of me trying to figure out who this person is.
Yeah, I would say that one time at a levity mic, this person was there, and I asked them to turn off their camera when my set started because I didn't want to be in there. I feel like this person watches the podcast.
But you know what? That's fine, because now they know there was an etiquette thing there they shouldn't have done anyway.
Well, I said it on the microphone. I was like, "Hey, man, can you turn off the?" I
was not there.
Whatever. Oh, okay. So like basically,
I would have remembered this.
This person used to do some very racist stuff, to the point where I feel like they felt uncomfortable in certain social circles, rightfully so. And then they went to a levity mic, and they've been going there, but they got very comfortable and started doing a personal story, and they were like live streaming it because it was about somebody who wasn't there, and they were like, I told you I'd do this story about you, whatever. And it was like it was almost like an 8 Mile moment where they're like trying to clap back. And then like I was the next comic up, so Harry is just like, all right, coming up next, David Stickle, and I go up there. I was like, dude, please turn off your mic. I don't want to be on your live right now.
Honestly, that's fair though, because that's just not.
And I was ironically, I was working on a joke that was kind of racist, so I'm like, I don't need this to go out on this page. It just seems like it's going to be a Klan rally.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like, oh, I got you, and then I watched him put the phone down. I'm like, oh, thank God. And I was like, so black people.
No, that would be terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
No, yeah, but that's the thing. I just think people should feel more empowered to give it a shot. Like, for me, I wanted to try it because I don't like public speaking. I can have a little bit of social anxiety sometimes, and so it was like a cool thing for me to try and experience and figure out where I fell with all of that. But it was good to also find out that the producing side of things is a lot more fun for me. I don't really want to be on the stage, but I do want to have a lot to do with what's going on behind the scenes. I really enjoy that aspect of things.
My theory is you just want to pick what restaurants the shows are being done in.
That is, yeah. I've been begging for one to be at like a sushi dumpling place. It hasn't happened yet. I'm starting to feel a little bit unappreciated.
You know who to talk to about this. It's really
David Stickle.
It's really not on me. It's really not on me. You know who has the power.
I think I've also made mention, honestly. I think that was something I did make mention to Michael, if that is who you're speaking about.
All right, well, yeah, we weren't going to... I'll bleep his name.
If we're just going to name drop too. Great to be here. It's great to be here.
Oh, yeah.
John and Jacob. Good to just got to shout out you guys real quick.
Yep.
Thank you for all the name drops. And I hate to tell this to you, But I was actually the pilot episode that never got aired. I was Dave's first Likable episode that never got aired. We just kind of chatted it out about stuff so that he could figure some things out. So
Yeah.
technically, this is my return.
This is technically the B-Rose return. So,
The return of the B-Rose.
also,
Return of
while
the
we're
B.
talking about great to be here,
Sounds like you have a bone to pick.
now how do I want to say this
Eloquently.
eloquently? I think I enjoy their show more than mine.
Okay, so what I appreciate about It's Great to Be Here, and maybe everyone who listens will agree, I feel like I'm hanging out with my high school friends in the basement. They're all smoking weed. We're listening to music, playing pool, and they're just chatting. And that's
Yes.
really fun for me to like have that feeling. You know what I mean? It's just like silly, fun. It's just good vibes.
I won't disagree. I don't think John and Jacob have anything higher than a high school education.
That's not what I was saying.
Nah, yeah. I mean, every time John says he's writing, I'm like, you can write? Like, that's impressive.
You're such an asshole.
I know.
Say the same about you, sir.
I enjoy these two folks very much. They
are good people.
They're adorable, and they shout out my show often, and they have more followers than me right now, so that's fine.
That's what happens when you have the better show.
They rub it in my face. They really do. It's because I haven't had Dave Bailey yet. That's what it is.
Is that what it is?
That's
Get
what
him
it
on
is.
next.
That's the big difference is the Dave Bailey effect. I'll get him in here one day.
One day.
I'll fucking wheelchair him in here if I have to.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how many large men you can fit in this room at once, and you're one already.
I get this so much because I had Aunt Smash in here, and
That's true, actually.
and I had Vinny Petty in here yesterday.
It's just I feel tight in here.
Right.
So I can't imagine
Yeah.
how other people feel.
Well, I mean, Aunt Smash give a couple, goddamn, squeeze it in here.
I love Aunt Smash.
Yeah, and Vinny Petty and I were both like facing like this at each other yesterday because we're both just like, it's too tight to do this, so we have to do this because it was just too snug as a
I
bug.
will name drop some of my favorite local comedians. Aunt
Okay.
Smash is one of them. I feel like he's always fun to watch. He's a character for me. You don't know what he's going to say. You have no idea. At least me. I don't know. Maybe other people do. I never have any clue what
I
Aunt
feel like
Smash
I've
is
got
about
an
to
Aunt
say.
Smash rhythm going on.
And but it usually is entertaining.
That's a word.
I think I met him for the first time probably at like a Fish and Chicks show. And he wasn't even doing a set. He was doing a rant about something. And I remember after you were like, that was so good. It's got so many bones. And he was like, nah, man, that just happened to me. And I just thought it was so funny. I was like,
I was
he's just a
probably
funny man.
so jealous. I know exactly what you're talking about. He did a rant
About someone
about
standing him up like a date or something.
he did a rant about reserving a hotel room and trying to take a girl out to dinner
There's a
to take
tag
her
you love
back
from
to the
this, and you're gonna
hotel room.
remember it right now, aren't
I'm
you?
not. I just remember the story, but I think they met up in the story though. I don't think it
No,
was.
I'm pretty sure it was something like a bullshitter's gonna bullshit. Like she didn't meet up with him.
Yeah.
Aunt Smash, we need you to let us know what happened.
The tag had something to do with
There was a tag you loved.
you
so
can't
much.
eat pussy on an empty stomach or something
don't
like
know.
that. Yeah, that was something like that. He was got to take her out to eat because you can't eat pussy on an empty stomach or something like that. And he was like doing the whole. But that's when he started doing the water on the face bit, and he kept that.
Yeah, I don't know.
He still
that
does
was
that.
Just one of those. But yeah, so Aunt Smash, a character.
Aunt Smashley.
Jordan, another one.
Jordan
who-
is.
He was one of the first people who I saw, and I feel like he's gotten less. How should I say this? I don't want to say aggressive. Less. Softer isn't even the word because that's not true.
Less abrasive.
Abrasive, that's the word I'm
Damn.
looking for. He's gotten less abrasive, but there were times where I enjoyed that abrasiveness, like, and it worked for the crowd. Like, it never felt like he was being abrasive, like, in a rude, mean way. It just felt like he was confident with what he was saying, that it didn't, you know what I mean? Like, you know, a comedian who's saying what they're saying and they don't care. And I've always respected that. I've always thought he's a very good writer. But I also think that has to do with the fact that he's really fucking smart.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very smart.
Who else is fantastic? There's a lot of really good ones. Gabrielle, one of my absolute favorites. I'm like a super fan for Gabrielle. It's a little bit creepy almost.
Me too, if I'm being honest. I'm really kind of hoping Gabrielle just takes off, and then
Yes.
I just ride their coattails.
Might be one of my...
Like I'm
I
just
will
hoping to
put
work
this-
security at the door when Gabrielle's headlining.
If you remember when we've seen a lot of Michael, went to a lot of Michael's shows because I love Michael's set as well. He's got amazing jokes. Everyone knows that.
Michael who?
We don't even have to name drop like that. Michael Bubiade. Anyway, but I feel like Gabrielle is on that level for me where I can just watch her over and over again and I don't get sick of her.
Yeah. And they've gotten better at like acting on stage.
Yeah.
So now it's like the performance for them is like just a lot more entertaining. Like before I remember when maybe like not even a year ago, like
Did they
were
start taking an acting class?
They did. But I remember like not even a year ago, it was just like fun to see how they saw the world and like whatever they came up with. And then like, again, you couldn't predict what they were going to say and all that kind of stuff. Still can't, by the way.
Yes.
But now it's just like, oh, you're being dramatic now. Because there's like an element of like, and that makes it so much more fun to watch even. And just writing alone was very good.
Okay, here's something I have an opinion on, and
Okay,
Gabrielle reminded me of this. I
two
got very
hands.
serious.
Yeah,
You
you
saw that?
brought it.
I got very serious.
Like you're drinking a hot cup of tea on a cold winter day.
I don't like shit talking
Okay.
people in general, comedians. Like, I don't want to shit talk anything, how people do their productions. I think, very high standards for what I think a production should be.
Right.
I make that very, very clear all of the time when I tell you what I think things should have been after your shows.
I'm aware.
Just in case anyone doesn't know, I love to hate David, and he hates to love me, and you can probably see that. It's how our friendship works. But I met Gabrielle the night of an open mic. I'm sorry, a show, an open mic. I'm not sure what it was, but never again do I want to be or go to a show produced or open mic produced by this person because we were held hostage. It was, I cannot remember if it was a mic or a show.
It was okay. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I want to say it was supposed to be an open mic.
Ironically, I'm on a show with this person that they're producing.
That will be one I don't go to.
Yeah. Yeah, in a couple months. But it was
And to be honest with you, I don't like their jokes or who they are as a comedian either. Their vibe. There's, you know what I mean? There's a lot there I don't love. But
yeah, I'm not a fan of their Facebook posts either. It was an open mic.
Okay.
And it was at a.
We don't have to get too into the.
Yeah, I
details.
guess
Keep
we
it
don't
a
have to
little
get
bit.
into the
Yeah, I don't want
detail.
it to be too.
It was an open mic.
Gabrielle knows who we're talking about.
Gabrielle knows. But they were. I was excited to see them there because they were given the opportunity to get more time. That was the one.
That was the thing.
Cool thing about the mic.
I did think Gabrielle did amazing that night, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's like fantastic writing. Like the writing in that is amazing. And then the confidence Gabrielle had on stage comparatively to sitting and talking to her at the table was very different. And I was like, wow, the way that you can pull that confidence on stage, like you are a natural. Like this is just a matter of channeling it the right way.
Yeah.
I don't know, super fan since then, but I do want to touch on this mic for a moment.
Okay.
Because it was an open mic, but there were 10 minutes of music between each comedian.
That's a dead giveaway of what one was. Yeah.
And so you had to wait until the end to leave because David, of course, went up like second to last.
I really didn't
something.
ask for that though.
But
I don't know if you remember.
But
I did not
here's
ask
what
for that.
No, you didn't. But they also didn't tell us that we were doing 10 minutes of music between each comedian.
Correct.
And then the way it was prefaced to everyone else in the room was that this was a show. So basically, this person lied about doing an open mic to get people there to do a free show and to DJ in between.
Yes.
And it was the worst experience of my life.
Yeah, there's been a couple scenarios in stand up.
I think we were there for like 2 hours.
More than that. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
It's just sometimes it feels like you're in a hostage situation.
Yes.
And there was a point where it's just like, man, I would love to leave. And what sucks about going like second. I think it was like second or third to last. What sucks about going at that point is you're like, man, you got to kind of stay for the last guy, you know?
And I think...
And then they just like, a couple people from the bar also went up. And it was
that
like,
was the
this
thing
tacked
that,
on another 30 minutes.
so
like,
I
fuck
think
me.
that's what made it so annoying is there were people who would go up and do 2 or 3 minutes, and then it would be 10 minutes of music in between. So you'd be getting 2 or 3 minutes of a comedian because they were just someone from the bar who wanted to try it and they didn't, you know what I mean? And then you'd be getting another 10 minutes of music, and you were like, it for me is the same as when someone goes up and does 10 minutes between each comic. And it's like, you know, you say a little something funny and that's cool, but I also don't want to hear a 45-minute set split up in between each comic. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. You just triggered this memory for me, though. That was also one of the first time. That is the first time, and one of the few times first time I ever though seen and interacted with Asian Jeff, the math teacher.
is he still around doing?
He was just that salty 180 thing.
Yeah.
He showed up for that.
No way.
Yeah.
Because I that's the first. Haven't thought about that man since.
Yep. I've seen him.
But I remember
twice
him
since
because
then.
he was like a pleasant person. Like
Yeah,
he was just
yeah, yeah.
like
He speaks like this,
Yeah.
and it's like amazing. You know, I think it's because he's got so much hair, but he talks like
He
this.
does have a good head of
and
hair.
honestly, yeah, he's got great hair. But he might be at the Keegan mic tonight, actually. But it's amazing because like this is so racist, but like his voice is not in sync with his lips, so it very much does seem like I'm watching a dubbed over video. I know that's very racist, but it's so true. And every time I don't talk to him about it when I see him, you know, but I'm just like, this bothers me. I do enjoy him very much, though. I like his jokes.
There's a lot of people. I'm not going to think of everyone who, you know, but I do. There's a lot of really great Hudson Valley comedians. And because I've been on this journey, I'll say with you, even though, you know, I'm not doing most of the stuff. I'm just tagging along to watch for fun.
You're witnessing.
I like to think I'm a comedian by osmosis, you know?
Okay.
Like that's...
Sure.
I've been to enough shitty bar shows and open mics that I feel like by osmosis, there's, you know, guilty by association.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are a lot of really great Hudson Valley comedians, and it's been fun over the, 2 years span of doing this with you and like watching people grow, watching people take breaks, you know what I mean? Like it's interesting watching their material change. Like it's a lot of fun to watch and to see and experience.
Yeah.
You know?
It's cool. I was just thinking about this the other day, and you'll resonate with this. Pat Downey has always done like material where he like kind of is like the smartest guy in the room, you know? The past 2 weeks that I've seen him at because I took a break from doing two-way, as you know. But like the past 2 weeks that I've been at two-way and I've seen him, he's doing a lot more self-deprecating stuff and making fun of his body.
That's so
and it's amazing because like, you know, like
he had a few of those jokes though that were really funny.
Right. Yeah. And he's talking about how thin he is, right? Or how he looks like a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
But now...
1 second, 'cause I'm trying to think of what... Okay, I got it.
Okay, so now he's... I don't want to ruin the bit, but now he's making fun of... Like, he's 23 or 24 now, and he's starting to notice his body's aging. And it's just like a great perspective because he's still so young, you know? But yeah, he's just like, I'm getting fucking... he goes, I'm getting... fat behind my nipples. It's so funny and how he says it is so good. I mean, he's really good with his words too. But yeah,
these educated young men.
Yeah.
Even though you're also college educated, Mr. Springfield College over here.
Do you want to know why I'm wearing this today?
Why?
It's because I have a fucking pimple on my neck right here. I'm covering up my finger. But I was wearing this Sloop shirt, which has a high throat thing on it, and I'm wearing this a little bit, even though I'm sharing it with the camera. But this morning I was like picking at it, and it was like fucking big and red, and I'm like, ugh. So I'm wearing if I had a turtleneck, I would wear a turtleneck.
It's so hot outside.
I know. But I'd wear an Irish wool turtleneck sweater.
You would never make it as a female.
I would never. No. I would definitely never make it as a goth chick. You know?
No, you wouldn't.
They wear boots and...
You'd sweat all your makeup off.
Yeah. But I think that's kind of the look, though.
Actually,
Where
you're
it's
not
like
wrong.
runny, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
You'd
thing.
really just look like a sad clown.
Which I am. So...
That is actually pretty on point.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's an interesting thing for us to talk about is because you watched the Louis C.K. special recently.
Yes. Actually, okay, full disclosure, I didn't finish it.
Really?
No, so we saw Louis C.K. a handful of times at Laugh It Up, right?
Yep.
When he was workshopping that material. And I couldn't get into it because I enjoyed him so much more in person. And so
Yeah.
I kind of felt like I was like listening to it because I wanted to compare it to seeing him in person. But at some point I was like, it's not doing it for me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it didn't feel as funny. I wasn't laughing as much. He didn't feel like he was having as much fun as when I saw him in person. You know what I mean? I was like, I think that if he was here right now, we would collectively agree that I've seen him in a much better performance and that this is not necessary.
Now, let me ask you, because we did see it a few times. Even though the special wasn't your favorite, did you still feel connected to it though? Because it has like a oh, we watched this being built, you know,
It was-
like because I liked it a lot more in person too. And also, I don't know if you clocked this, but I noticed he was just on Soder's podcast. It was like my drive home last night. I was listening to Soder talk to Louis C.K. and I was so happy for Soder that it felt like I was talking to Soder. So I was like, oh, and at the end, Louis was like, this was a really good time. And like, I felt that for Dan. So anyways,
I'm not going to say that at the end of this.
yeah, I know. No one does. They're always like, what the fuck was that?
I did not really enjoy that.
People get out of this podcast like they just drank a,
They're hot. They're excited to get out into the elements again.
yes, yeah, they get excited to get out of the room. They get out of here like they just drank like a diet soda or something. Like that tasted weird. But I remembered that. So Louis was talking about his mom on the podcast, and I remember that he had this whole bit about his mom when we were watching him test out material at Laugh It Up that he did not include in the special. He did something about like his mom breastfeeding him or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't do it in the special.
Because then he goes into like his whole mom vagina jokes. Remember how he was like, "Oh, I'm just."
Well, he did do that. He did that.
one,
Yep.
but I think they were together.
They
when
were
we watched it.
segued.
That is what's so cool. I want to say we saw Louis at least 3 or 4 times. I don't remember how many it was.
I think we
couldn't
saw him
count.
4 times. I saw him like 5. Because
saw him twice in one
Yeah,
day.
I saw him twice because I wanted to see how he. For those that don't know, I really care about the writing process. And this past
Shut up, because I was about to talk about that.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. What were you gonna say? I'll get back
The
to
really-
it. I can remember things.
I fucking hate you. The really cool part of it all was because you did get to see his writing process. Like my writing process is different than your writing process, but you got to see Louis'. It was basically like seeing him do a bunch of open mics, and it's cool to see what is an open mic to somebody on that level. Like a Laugh It Up show, which for like someone on your level is like an amazing thing to headline. It's an open mic to Louis C.K. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And so to watch him come out with the material the first time, he wasn't super confident with it. It was a little bit all over the place. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't woven together quite yet. But there was a lot of really funny stuff. And then the next time we saw him, like some things were different, some things weren't in there anymore, but it like flowed a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then slowly it felt like he was like cutting out the fat. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
stuff that wasn't necessary. And it was just cool to see over the course of time how it changed. And I think that's why I wanted to watch it, because I wanted to see what made the final cut for
Yeah.
his, you know?
That's the cool part about it. And I think watching it so many times, we got to see him almost like and he uses this like big notepad or like a sketchbook, you know.
Do you know what's funny? All I remember is his cup of tea that he walked around.
All right, he carries it onto podcasts too, which is funny. It's the same cup. But he it's almost like he has like note cards, and he's just like changing. And Birbiglia does this where it's a big board, and he's got the note cards, and he just reorganizes them in the set. And it was cool to see like, you know, the bit about his visiting his father in the nursing home ended up being in the middle of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he closed initially on a bit that was about his daughters inheriting his wealth.
Which I thought was very funny.
Very good.
But I do see cutting it out how it still, like the way he trimmed it back, how it still worked.
I mean, he cut it out completely out of the final, but I think it's because it resembled somebody else's bit that was already published. It was very similar, and you know, so I think that's why he cut it out. But I mean, I enjoyed Louis' version more, but and I'm biased, so
I also do think that that's It's one of those weird things where you hear a joke and you're like, I've heard that before, but that one was better.
Which is a shame because sometimes you can give the right resources to the wrong person and they use it and they just completely fuck it up. And then you're just like, ah, man, we wish we gave those resources to somebody else because they would have made something beautiful, you know? Which is like, you know, resources being a premise in this case. But it was like good for me for like that for that time to watch him do this over, because I think it was like a course of like 4 to 6 months that he kept coming back.
Yeah.
And like for my past like, you know, few months, I've been trying to figure out how to edit material, and you know, recalling stuff that he did, and just as far as like shifting what went where, you know, kind of helped me a lot. Kind of edit stuff, and I think that's very important. But like just seeing the final product, it's like it's almost like a little, I feel connected to it still, but it's still like a little disappointing because one, it's done.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the wait to see what it would be is over. Two, we saw it in a club setting where he could connect with the crowd more versus he recorded it in like a theater.
But I do want to touch on that as well.
Sure.
I do think there's something about a taping and a recording that takes a little bit of the magic out of it for me. And I don't think I would have known that if I hadn't been to a live recording myself. Because we went to Zenhauser.
Yep.
He recorded his special. It was a ton of fun. And this was nothing on him and his comedy, because I've seen him a ton of times. But you do feel a level of pressure when you know it's being recorded, because you want to laugh for the person. You know what I mean? You want their recording to go well.
They actually tell you to laugh. Even if it's
Yeah,
not
but
funny.
then it's like pressure because you're also like, you're out of the moment a little bit because now you're thinking about it a little bit too much. At least me. Like other people probably don't give a fuck and they're like, I'm here and doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
But me personally, like I feel like I just am out of the moment a little bit because I don't want to, you know what I mean, like ruin someone's recording. Like this is a big moment for them, and I wouldn't want some asshole in the audience being like, I'm not laughing. You know what I mean? Like you don't want that. But also I feel like the comedian is a little more stressed because they also know that it's being recorded, and they, you know what I mean? There's a level of...
They've also invested a lot of money into
Yes.
it.
And it's not as much fun, like you were saying, for Louis when he can't connect with the audience. Like, it was so much fun with his energy and in person, you know what I mean? Like how he was. And it makes me wonder when I watch all of these recordings now, I'm like, would I even enjoy this if I had seen you in person, you know?
Yeah. I think it's interesting because like, I think him specifically, like he didn't do crowd work at all,
No.
right? Never. But what he did is that he would pay attention to the crowd, because like I want to say like the last time or the second to last time we saw him, he did that joke about his mom and her vagina, right? And then somebody was like, ooh, and he like dialed in on it, and then I don't know if he riffed it or whatever. No, it was the joke about his dad fucking him. And then I don't know if he riffed that
It was
or
a
not.
riff after that for sure.
But he
I
definitely
remember
turned
what you're
into
talking about.
and that made the special. It
Yes.
was his
Oh,
dad
did it?
fucking him from behind, and he's just like he's 90. He's like I could get him to stop. It's like
I could be wrong, but it
what's the
feels like
point?
he had
you know?
to have riffed that, because I feel like I remember we were watching him and it looked like the wheels were turning at, like it didn't all happen.
It was
immediately.
different, right? Yeah,
Yeah, it
was
didn't
a
all happen. It was like he was
Yeah.
laughing as it went along, and I can't say for sure if it wasn't just that he was enjoying what he was doing in that moment, and he knew he didn't have to be like on point, and he could laugh and have fun. You know, but
or he just knew he got blessed with an idea in the
yeah,
moment.
you can't tell. You'll never know. I mean,
Yeah.
but that's my favorite thing about watching sometimes. Michael is very good at this, Michael and Gubiade. Sorry, Michael, this is my fault this time. Blame
I owe him
me.
like $6.
I'll bring you some Sour Patch Kids. So
Yeah, if she brings you candy, do I have to give you $1? Like, what's the... He likes lemonade.
what was I saying? Oh, he's very good at making it seem like what he's doing on stage are funny things he just thought of and are just happening in his life. You know what I mean? It feels like you're in the moment with your friend who is kind of like just telling you some silly shit that happened, and it doesn't feel rehearsed. It doesn't feel super like scripted. You know what I mean? Like they're very good at making it feel. He's very good at making it feel like he's having fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like when the comedian is confident in having fun, everyone else is too. But when a comedian's on stage and not confident and is like, oh, you guys didn't like that? It's like, well, Now I feel like you feel uncomfortable and not confident with your material. And now I actually don't feel like you're as funny as I did a minute ago because you don't even think you're that funny. You know what I mean? Like, if you lost confidence that easily, then because you know as well as anyone, there are bad crowds. There are crowds that necessarily just aren't your crowd.
All of them are not my crowds if they don't laugh. They're all bad crowds.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, that was a thing for a little while. Do you remember that?
I was on a streak of being like,
You were like, the crowd
they
wasn't
weren't a good
good.
crowd. Yeah.
I remember.
It wasn't a good crowd. I don't know. Like, I
You're
didn't
like,
do
it
anything
wasn't me
wrong.
for sure.
I didn't do
My
anything
jokes are
wrong.
great.
Yeah. It was crazy. Like 6 months of that. Just bad crowds. I don't know how that happens. It wasn't lighting. It wasn't my overall performance. It wasn't my writing at the time.
It was the crowd. And sometimes it is. Sometimes you do get a crowd that isn't as... I mean, I'm not a participator. If a comedian speaks to me while they are on stage, they may not get an answer. And if they do, it's probably so quiet they can't hear it. Like, I'm not a participator. That's just what it is. And so, like, I don't speak most of the time when they say things. I don't make noise most of the time when they say things. I just, I clap when I'm supposed to clap, and that's about it. Where was I going with this? I hate
know.
that you did this before. Is that about remembering things?
I don't know. You were talking about...
But when they have fun,
okay.
it's fun. And Michael's good at that. I don't know.
Yeah, you're going to
It's like, I
compliment
forgot what we
Michael
were.
when he riffs. Or when Michael repeats the set multiple times. He's very good at making it seem like it's one of the first times you've
I think we
said it.
covered that. I don't know. I'm going to listen to this, and I'm going to know exactly where I got lost in this thought, and I'm going to be a little upset about
Sometimes when I listen back to this pod and I make a joke off of something that somebody said and I'm hearing what they're saying, I'm like, oh man, I think I would say this in this moment. And then I do, I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, I haven't learned anything in the past 2 weeks since this was recorded. My brain is exactly the same. Yeah, which is fun.
One thing I think is interesting is that you don't really love producing shows, because I think that that's the fun side of things. Like, I enjoy, but I like procedural type of things, and I think that producing feels very procedural to me. So maybe that's why. But I just think it's fun to think about the comedians, the lineup, where they go. I'm not very good at that at all, per se. But I think it's fun, like, when you talk to me about why you put people in certain places. And I'll disagree with you sometimes, and most of the time you're right when the show comes up, and it's great.
Glad that's recorded.
Actually, I can't believe I just said you were right that easily.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to be on a clip.
I'm being a little too nice.
Probably
right
going to
now.
be the clip for this episode.
You're not wrong most of the time.
I looked exactly at the timestamp, too. I'm actually going to write it down.
But I do think that that is a very cool side of things. You know what I mean? To just kind of, even the recording part is cool. You always have people recording the shows that you do, whether it's you or someone else. And I think that's really awesome as well. It's just those little things I feel like make it that much better. There are things that I don't like that certain producers do or don't do as well. I've got a lot of opinions about who should and shouldn't be on some shows. And mostly that has to do for me with sometimes the level of effort you feel from certain people. We were in the car together with a comedian who announced that they don't necessarily go to open mics anymore. And I found that to be not the way to go, I'll say. I think it's important, like, maybe you don't go to open mics, weekly, but like once a month, if you're going to be a comedian doing comedy, it feels like there should be some level of open mic for you. You know what I mean? Even Louis C.K. is doing an open mic at you know what I mean? Like, he's got his version of an open mic.
And to clarify, it's one thing if you're working at the Comedy Cellar or like if you're in the city and you're doing like 6 spots a
I'm talking
night.
about people closer to your level.
Right. That's what I'm trying to clarify. It's like it's different. Like if you're, a comic in New York and you're past at the Stand and you're past at the Cellar and whatnot, and you don't have time to do open mics, but you're doing the Comedy Cellar like 6 times tonight for 10 minutes, and it's every hour that you're going to be up there, and like. Then you could work out new material. Like, that's when you work out new material, you connect to the crowd a lot more. The pressure, again, to them has now become, the Comedy Cellar to me would be the biggest thing I've ever done. To them, that's their open mic, Like,
yes.
You mentioned earlier, Laugh It Up, headlining. That was the biggest deal in the world for Kevin. It was the biggest deal in the world for Jason. I've never done that. I've even featured at Laugh It Up. But for Louis, that's an open mic, right? And, like, I think that... the person that we're talking about mentioned this, and they're doing just as many shows as I am, and that's
and I
crazy.
don't think their material is bad, but I don't think it's good enough to justify not doing open mics. And I think it was Carl who said it, and he said, I don't always go to open mics, but when I have something I need to work on, I go to open mics because that's how you work on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't, I don't feel like you can confidently and proudly announce as a comedian that you no longer do open mics unless you are like headlining every show, killing it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's one of those.
And like,
and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if you have your tight half hour, 25, maybe you don't have, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is, but shouldn't you always be working on new material? That's, I guess, my
for sure.
personal.
Like, or you're working on the material you're working on, you know, like it's just about sharpening the axe, you know, like, I don't know, like, you know, I've been doing a lot of mics in New York, and I've been doing a lot of mics up here. I've been doing a lot of shows. Like I'm getting a lot of microphone time, and even just like this past like 4th of July weekend, I wasn't doing that. Right. And I didn't even record episodes here, just like no microphones around me in general. And like picking up a microphone and going back to a mic felt rusty. And I'm just like, wow, like what is that? I couldn't imagine just doing shows on the weekends and then not touching a microphone for 5 days and then getting back up there.
That's when it gets easy to blame the crowd.
It gets easy to blame the crowd. It also gets easy to, what do I want to say here? It gets easy to get out of sync with like I think we talk about this a bunch when the muse like will hit you, you know, and you're like, all right, you know, because like I often come up with my best jokes the day after a show, and I'm just like, oh man, like because I'm in that energy, I'm in that flow, and like if I'm taking 5 days off from that, what am I doing? You know?
What are you doing actually?
Exactly. Like, and that's the thing. Like, if you're taking 5 days off from mics, you better be spending at least 3 of those days writing. You know, or you know, because.
And I guess it does depend on what level of comedian you're trying to be, or comic in general, because some people are doing this as hobby comic, and some people are doing this, you know, as a job.
Yes, but this person specifically is a local headliner.
Yeah,
you know,
I think,
and that's crazy.
That's why for me, there are people who I respect a lot as comedians who I don't think have the funniest jokes, I'll say, per se, and. Some of that judgment comes from that stupid book you made me read, or didn't make me read. I shouldn't say made, you told me about and I decided to read. When I was doing open mics, I read a book. I couldn't tell you what it was called.
Finding Your Inner Comic Genius by Adam Bloom.
Thank you. And I'll reference that and bother Dave with it sometimes because he didn't actually read it. So I'll be like, remember that part of the book? And he'll be like, no, I don't, because I didn't read it.
I've read chunks. Big YouTube guy.
Because of that, I feel like I view the writing of some comedian, you know what I mean, through that book and through a lot of what I learned from it. And so there are comedians who I don't necessarily feel like maybe have found their voice, or there's someone specific we have spoken about who is very funny conversationally, but not necessarily on stage yet. They haven't found their set, their voice, their style.
Can I make a reference?
I'd rather you didn't.
Oh, okay.
We'll keep that one. Let people be,
okay.
and you know.
Well, I don't know if we're thinking about the same person.
We definitely are.
Are we?
Now I don't know, but it feels like we have. Feels like we have to be. How many people do we agree are conversationally funny?
Boom. Okay. No, maybe not. I don't know. All right, keep talking. I'm gonna make this bigger so you can read it.
But I respect. Yes.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There's no way we're thinking of two different people.
All right. Well, I would like to talk about that.
But I really respect their hustle in comedy because they're trying. They're showing up. They're doing the work. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that, you know, some people are never going to be the funniest comedian, but if they're still showing up and putting in the work and making the connections, because it is a community. And so, like, yeah, you may never make it to a Don't Tell or a Laugh It Up, or, you know what I mean? That might not be where you are. And it could be for a bunch of reasons. You could be very funny, but maybe you have poor stage presence. You could have great stage presence. You know what I mean? There's so many different things that go into it. And I think it's like a job interview where if you're not getting stage time, just because someone else was more qualified doesn't mean you weren't good for the job. Like, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things that you have to consider. But I do think that part of the community, like, there are a lot of people who do deserve some time on shows just because they do show up and they do put effort in and they do try really hard. You know what I mean? And I think that that's important too. Like everyone deserves a spot on a show somewhere, you know?
Yeah, and I think for a long time that was like what I did with the Crow Show, and then I think I started doing a lot more with the Don't Tells and a lot more in New York, and
You've been
I
all
started
over the place.
pulling people from different areas. I mean, you know, people from fucking Jersey or people from Albany or people from New York, and
But it
then-
also speaks to like the trajectory of how things have to go for comedians. Like everyone starts at bar shows. Like your first bar show, your first show really that I saw, but I think it was like one of your first shows, not your showcase, but the next one, what was it? Keith's show?
My very first show was Bar Vino in Wappingers Falls.
Was it Tapped? I'm thinking.
You're thinking of Tap. That was my third or fourth show.
But those are hard when you first get started. People are talking. People maybe bought tickets, but like if there's a full bar, no one's getting kicked out. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those are really hard shows, but it's so necessary when you're getting started, if this is something you really want to do, to have those hard times, because that's kind of what gives you the thick skin to like make it and to keep going. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, you were there with me in the car ride back from that. I mean, I felt like shit. I mean, I've referenced that show. What?
you were very proud of your performance that night. It took you almost a year to look back on that and decide that you didn't have a good performance.
I don't
I'm just
know.
going to call that
I-
out now.
I thought I felt
no,
like
you
shit
were
that night.
you were very confident in the car on the way back. You thought you did really good, and I remember this specifically because I'm a great, amazing friend. And I remember going and seeing you do your performance and being like, "That is not the Dave that I see." Because you were like, I had seen you. I've listened to your voice notes of doing comedy at that point. I had seen some of your recording of yourself. Like, you know what I mean? I had seen you at open mics. And so to see you on stage with a different level of, like, it wasn't the confidence in you that you usually have.
I was shook.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I remember thinking to myself, you have to just agree with him because he needs the confidence. Like,
I
you
think-
can't tear him down right now.
Well, maybe in that moment.
And that was like an active thought that I had, because it wasn't, and I knew in that moment it wasn't the best performance, but you were still doing something that was really, like, I have fear of doing exactly what you were doing. I couldn't have done any better. Like, in my mind, it was amazing that you went up there and did that. And so to tear you down in any way, shape, or form for that would not have been the right thing to do.
I think maybe in the moment, maybe I was feeling better about it.
If you had that
because-
kind of performance now, I would tell you immediately, and you also
Yeah.
would be very aware of
Oh
it.
my
But
God.
then it was a very different.
I'd quit comedy if I performed like that again. I think in the moment, maybe I was riding the high of like Michael and Jordan also telling me I did well. I think at the time, Michael's opinion, and it still does
Yeah, they
matter a
matter.
lot. And then I think I was also riding the high of like, that was the first time I met Meaty. And then
Yes.
Meaty like heard how many shows I've been done or been booked already. And then I was like, oh, wow, I must be really good. If, you know, because Meaty was like, oh, it took me 2 years before I got a
Yeah.
spot, you know? And, you know, it took me 4 weeks, you know.
But
and-
it was an exciting new thing. It's connections.
Yeah.
There's a million reasons for it, but it was not your best performance.
It still is.
Looking
one of my
back,
worst.
it's great that what?
I think it might be my worst.
I thought you said it still isn't my worst. I was like, what do you think is your worst? But it's still,
That'd actually be fun to look into.
it still is a very necessary step, because even if in the moment you didn't, whatever, it is something that you get to look back on and be like, wow, look at how much I grew. What did that teach me? Do you remember how noisy the bar was that night? You reference it all the time, and how that was something you had to learn to deal with. You watched another comedian deal with it better than you did after you, because you were one of the first people on. You know what I mean? You learned
I
so
was the
much from
first,
that, but
yeah.
that's how you, I think, learn to handle a lot of stuff, is the experience of doing it. And so for some people, those may not feel like fun shows to get started on, but that's literally where you have to get started. That's where you get your experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, you're getting paid to tell jokes, you know, like,
Some of those are free shows. Let's not.
well, in New York, they're all free, but Keith always pays. Like, that is the great part about Keith
No,
Prince.
but even up here, there's tons of shows that are.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
for
Like, there's
sure,
when
for
you
sure.
first get started, like, don't make people feel bad about doing free shows.
No, but I mean, like,
There are a lot
if-
of shows that you do for free because you just need to get that stage
for
time.
sure. But if you are getting paid to do comedy, I think that's an important perspective to keep, is like, you know, like I, as you know, like I go back and forth with how I feel about a lot of things, right? And like sometimes it is a tough like ego check to just be like, you know, like, because I, you know, comparison being the thief of joy. I compare myself to a lot of comedians I'm not in the same fucking ballpark
Yes,
with.
you do. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
I love when you send me a famous comedian and you're like, I feel like me and this person. And I'm like, I don't know about that.
Listen, man, I will chase giants until there is no giants left to chase.
I
And
respect that work ethic.
thank you. It fucks with you a lot, you know? And I think it's important to keep it, like, you know, again, there will be times where I have a great performance and all that kind of stuff will happen and I'll make money and all that kind of stuff. And then I'll sit there and be like, well, so-and-so got better laughs, you know? And that's a problem to keep in check. And there's other times where I didn't perform really well. And then I'm just like, yeah, I did pretty fucking good, actually. I don't know if you guys saw.
That actually has happened.
I got somebody to laugh over there, you know? And they're just like, yeah, they're like, hey, actually, you fucking
You're like, yeah, you did get one person in the crowd
Yeah.
to belly laugh, but that
Yeah.
was, you know, not the majority.
Yep, and sometimes, like,
But I do also think the way that you leave the stage is very important, like how you feel, and that's why it's important to have fun on stage. Like, regardless of if the crowd is enjoying you or not enjoying you, I don't really love. Is it like the breaking of the fourth wall?
yeah.
There's a level of, I think I've talked to you about this before, there's a level of professionalism that I personally feel like people should have on stage. I don't feel like you should be picking up your notebook, flipping through it, going, let me think, on most shows. That's an open mic thing for me. If you have to have a notebook on stage, that's great, but you shouldn't be picking, like, just look at it. You know what I mean? You should be on a stool and you should be able to glance over.
Glance at a bullet point.
Or, yeah, it
reading your
shouldn't be,
notes.
you shouldn't be flipping through trying to figure out what's coming next in your set. Because there are plenty of people who I've seen who are extremely funny, but they don't have a tight set. So they're trying to think of which joke to throw in there when the audience doesn't seem to like the joke they're doing. And it's like,
do that all
don't
the
change your
time.
set. Don't change your set for the audience if it's going to make you look unprofessional. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that is, I just don't think it's a good look to be up on stage being like, oh no, they don't like me. What am I going to say now? You know what I mean? Like, it's a very insecure thing, and it kind of ruins my vibe. I want to see someone who is up there, like, I hate to say this, but you know this, no one makes me laugh as hard as I make myself laugh.
Just literally just did
No,
that.
yeah, no, like, that's what it is. And I want the comedian on stage to feel that about themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to feel like what they're saying is so funny. They don't understand why you're not laughing. They're like, did you hear? Someone actually
Yeah.
has done that. Maybe that was on the Don't Tell, the most recent one that you weren't at, the one that I went to
Oh, probably.
in
yeah.
Kingston, which was an amazing lineup. I would say it's one of my favorite lineups that I've seen on a Don't Tell so far, just because I felt like everyone was so just on point and funny. And I don't know if they had, it didn't feel like they had similar senses of humor, but there was nobody on there that felt like, you know how occasionally there's like a one-off person where you're like, their jokes just like didn't feel like they fit anybody's. Like, there was like maybe like 2 or 3 people in the audience that was for.
Yeah.
This lineup felt like everyone really mostly enjoyed, like, you know what I mean? The comedians did an amazing job.
Yeah.
But one person on the lineup said a joke, and then, you know, it got a little bit of attention, and then they repeated the joke. They were like, that deserved more. And then they moved on. You know what I mean? Like, they just let you know that they thought that joke was funnier than what you gave it, and then they moved on. And I thought that was, like, I was like, that is, yeah, I think that deserved more too. Like,
Yeah. That's part of the conversation with the crowd. It's interesting because, like,
but breaking the fourth wall that way doesn't bother me. But when people
Yeah.
do it in an insecure way, it pulls the fun out for me, because I think I start to feel bad for the person on stage. I'm like, don't start sweating. Don't start making it worse.
I'm
Don't start.
gonna sweat
Don't
every
start
time.
losing your confidence. Well, that's, yeah. But when you lose your confidence is when I start to feel. You know what I mean? Like, as long as
Yeah.
you're confident sweating up there, like, sweat all you want.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start to be like, oh no, I'm scared and now I'm sweating and I don't know what to do, it's like, get off
there's
stage.
so many factors that play into that I know, well, you
which
can't.
is why I'm happy I've gotten on stage and I've tried, you know, to a degree, because
Yeah.
I can, you know, I'm judging here a little bit to a good degree,
Sure.
but, you know, I think that's part of why I don't think it's for me, because I don't think I could do on stage what I think someone should do, and I didn't have fun doing it.
Yeah. And to go back to a couple of things, if you're nervous and you're not doing well and you're sweating and you feel like shit up there, do not get off stage. Like, you have
Sorry.
Yeah, you
No,
have
but, like,
to
make it
sit there
funny.
and take it on the shins until you are fucking numb to it. But there's a lot of value in bombing, and it might not be good for the crowd, it might not be good for the show, but if you're bombing because you need to figure something out, then, and there's 2 ways to handle a bomb. There's like, one, you can get off stage and be like, crowd fucking sucked. Like they don't like my jokes. Like it's them. Or you can get off stage and be like, man, what do I got to do to get better at this? How do I prevent that from happening again? Because there's two ways to handle that bomb. I do think bombs are important to have because you get numb to failure. And then that confidence really grows because the next time you're starting to fail, you're like, I can survive this. This fucking sucks. I'm going to sweat every time. And that happens. And the other thing, it's like when you're performing, like sometimes you do, like I have jokes that I still giggle at when I say them like privately. But if I'm just tired and not having fun that day, or like, especially because we started talking about producing a little bit and why I don't like it. But if there's like all this production shit that went into this and now I get to do my set, but like I'm still thinking about, I'm on stage and now I'm feeling what it's like to be a performer on the stage. And now this is another thing I think about, like all the performers that I've booked, this is what they felt until this point. So I usually go first in my own lineups or early in my own lineups, or I'm hosting, because I want to know, hey, do I have to hold the microphone here or here? Like, do I need to adjust the volume when I'm speaking? Do I need to turn on the fucking air conditioner? Do I need to do this? Do I need, because like, how does it feel when you're on, is the spotlight too bright? Like, what is all of that kind of stuff? And like, and I try to do a lot of that beforehand, but like, it's so hard to think about all that stuff and then just be like, oh yeah, that joke that I wrote that I really enjoy is still funny right now. It's like I'm not having a good time.
Yeah, you're not in it. You're not in it.
Yeah, you're thinking about a different thing. Yeah, you're not feeling. But that being said, when you're in the moment and you're feeling really good, like that feels really good, and the crowd is rolling with you. Everything that is worth.
When it's not the crowd's fault.
Well, it's not even that. Like when it's your fault that it's going.
I will
so
say
well.
Sometimes it is the crowd's fault. I do want to just say that, like, it's rare.
Yeah,
I will say it's more rare than you hear about it from people. But there was a Krog show where two people I thought were very funny both apologized because they didn't feel like they did well because of the crowd. And I remember specifically telling one of them, like, no, that was definitely the crowd. That wasn't you.
Yeah.
Because the crowd that usually is in there was not the crowd that was in there,
Exactly.
and it was a very
Crow crowd, very good crowd.
Usually, yes.
There's tourists in for
it was
this one.
it was
Everybody was gone. I don't know
rarely
what the-
people. I don't think I recognized almost anybody in there for the most part. Like there was one or two, you know what I mean. But it was a very different crowd, and it can be, sometimes it is, but that's show business.
That's how it goes sometimes. The sad part about maybe the Krog show ending is that the crowd is so well trained at this point. it's like a lot of these shows are so good because the crowd is trained, and like sometimes when you're starting a new show at a new place or like whatever.
I do miss the soup shows.
Yeah, well, I mean, the sloop shows, those crowds were not trained. The staff was very well trained.
They were different crowds every time.
And I'm very upset that I didn't figure out the fucking spotlight thing until after we stopped doing them for the summer.
Thing.
Yeah, because it's just too bright in the room. Like, it's got to be darker. Like, the sloop Don't Tell, I think, did very well because, one, Don't Tell people show up expecting to laugh. They're ready to go.
Room,
and it was a very full room, but also it was pitch black in there minus the spotlight. And I think the spotlight at Sloop definitely, I've talked about this in previous episodes, but the spotlight at Sloop definitely needs to be swapped out for something that I have, so it can just be an actual spotlight, not this like
Makes
fucking
sense.
helicopter spotlight that's chilling on us there. I forget where I was going with that. But yeah, I'm gonna miss doing the Krog shows if they have to stop. I'm gonna miss doing them if I have to change venues. That's gonna suck because I'm gonna have to retrain. It will.
You just need to get a mailing list.
Well, that's actually something I've printed out and I'm ready to go. Like I'm actually. Well, what I'm gonna do is, and this is not gonna surprise anybody. This will come out after this show this Friday. I'm gonna, for the next 2, potentially 3 shows that we have remaining, I'm just going to be like, hey guys, this is going to change. Like, you know, the end is coming, you know? So like sign up for this mailing list because nobody sees Instagram anymore. So please sign up and I'll send you the direct and, you know, you will know when to see this again. This doesn't have to end now, you know, and that's hopefully.
This is going to have to end soon though, because I have to pee.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I noticed you were bouncing in your chair. You only made it an hour.
It's the bathroom situation. All right.
You went before
We can
we
go.
came.
Yeah, I know. We can still, we're still good for a little bit, but
Yeah. Okay. As long as you're surviving.
not 12 hours, or I'm going to pee my pants and you're going to have to clean it. And then that's
You can't do 2 hours like Jay Connolly.
I can talk for 2 hours.
I was really hoping to make this like a 2 hour long episode and have it being a 2-parter. That way I don't have to produce anything for a week. That was nice. I see the value in that.
Well, if you pause for 5 minutes, let me run to the library.
No, we're not doing that because that's more editing I have to do.
We're not that far out anyway.
No, we're not that far out. We're good.
What else is there to talk about?
I don't know. We talked about your open mic experience. We talked about comedy.
Here's what I will say, though. I do want to say for comedians, and I think that most of you guys already know this, don't make the experience creepy for the women trying to do comedy.
Oh, good point. Good point.
Because there is a lot of that in the realm. In the very few open mics that I did, there was enough creepiness that it was a deterrent, if you will, that made me more picky about what rooms I was in, who was in those rooms, and stuff like that. There are a lot of really funny women out there, and I think that to feel like creepy men are a deterrent is not fair, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So just be mindful. Even if like your set is, you know, one way or whatever it may be, like you don't have to be creepy with the women in the room.
Yeah. The caveat on a lot of that stuff, if you are a male comic and you're doing sex stuff, don't make eye contact with female people in the crowd.
Like, don't make
That's a weird thing to do.
Yes.
You know, it's like I try to like look at the floor when I'm saying something remotely sexual on the joke list, and because it's uncomfortable. It's I think that, and I think it comes from immaturity sometimes, which is rampant in the comedy community. I just think because you come from being immature kids who are making all of these like that's what she said jokes, where it is like you're palling around with a bunch of women or whatever, but women you don't know, they also don't know you. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't know you from a hole in the wall. They know you from your comedy. And there are some specific people, I don't remember the person's name, but there was someone at one mic whose jokes were like so almost offensive that someone commented after. They're like, I don't know if that was a confession or if that was, an open mic set, because you know what I mean? It was that creepy.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's something to recognize that, women don't know you outside of seeing you at these open mics, and what you're saying on stage or even off stage could make them uncomfortable, and you shouldn't be a reason why they don't show up to do an open mic. So just be, a little bit cautious of being respectful. Even if you are joking or saying some things, just give off like an I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be, and just make sure the person feels comfortable, and it's not directed at them. Because I've also had some creepy comedians, direct things directly at me, which was not...
Yeah, or just
fun.
Figure out how to be funny and saying like, "Hey, I was kidding around."
Yeah,
figure out
I think that's implied sometimes. Like a lot of guys think that they're, joking around, and it's all.
Yeah.
But it can be off-putting. I think maybe it was Jacob or John Leary commented on Gabrielle like cringing at the amount of like dick jokes that happened at a podcast at an open mic one time, and it's like. Yeah, you hear so much of this, and you let the people do what they're doing because it is a part of all of this, but you don't need to have to. You know what I mean? Feel like that's all that's going to be talked about.
I think it's interesting because like there are a lot of comedians that really only do shit like that. And I tend to like, I was talking to you earlier today about how I had a lot of tags for people last night. And those are comedians I actually enjoy their writing, and I'm like, all right. And that's not saying like, the other people that were there last night, like I don't enjoy all of your writing, but there's some people that were on the lineup where I'm like, this person's coming up, I'm going to tune out because I just know what they're going to say and I know I'm not going to enjoy it because, what are you going to say?
I was going to say, can I name drop one specific person who, when they go on, I'm like, I could leave now.
Okay, sure. if
The
you want to.
levity person.
Okay, which one?
The person I love to hate at the levity mic is Al Felony.
Love it.
Love to hate him.
Everybody loves to hate Al Felony.
Love to hate Al Felony so much. I mean, he's at the top of the list for me, I think, of creepy comedians who are creepy on and off stage.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, get it together, dude.
That's
like-
and I don't like to shit talk, but I've had enough in-person experiences with Al Felony that I will say he is the one that I love to hate.
I think most women have, and that's
Yep.
the sad part is like, and I don't know if he's just kind of gotten by because people are expecting him to be incarcerated and it'll just fix itself.
I guess that's the other thing I don't love, some of his values as far as how many times can you drink and drive and get arrested and think that you're, like, he can't think he's a great person, but, like, it just,
Yeah.
there's a whole lot, we're just going to let that be. But creepy on and off stage, not necessary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that is someone who I think's intentions are to be creepy, both on and off stage, and hopefully it works.
Yeah. I will say, like, sometimes.
And I don't mind whenever I'm like, we could leave now, and it's just, he's the last person? All right.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like I don't see him for like 6 months, and then I'm just like, okay, let's see what they got, and it's just like, it's almost like you really hope, but it's usually...
I did like the Cooper and Al Felony banter back and forth for a little while they
Yep,
were doing,
and it got old.
just because
the duo act was so good. I'm so sad you never saw that.
I know, but I saw it a little bit.
was
it
adorable.
on Instagram? There was a little bit of
Yeah,
it.
they
Something.
they posted something from
And
the
I thought that
Mahonies.
was really funny just because they do banter
Mm-hmm.
back and forth very well, and they shit on each. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's just like watching Dumb and Dumber almost. You know what I mean? Or
For
what is it?
sure.
What is it? Not Dumb and Dumber. The cartoon, Beavis and Butthead.
Sure. Yeah. There's a lot of cartoons with that dynamic where they just they point out how
But that's
dumb each
what.
other
That's
is.
what.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
enough shit talking.
It's Kyle and Cartman. It really is. Like they're both like flawed and but they shit on each other. It was really funny. I think I told you about this, but at the Ithaca Comedy Festival, Cooper Rigo was there without Al Felony, and this is like a 4-hour bus ride for them, and still brought up Al Felony.
That's what happens when you're in love.
Yeah, I know. And
They're very codependent.
I called him out about it after the thing. I was like, dude, you're so far away from Al, and you still made him a part of your set. He goes, I did that for you. And I'm like, I didn't need it. Like, I really did. I didn't need it. I was so happy to see you be independent,
That's so funny.
I was, oh, God. Yeah.
Who else do I really enjoy? What's his name? Matt from the Kingston Mic, who you had on your shows.
Matt Toledo.
He's a funny one, too.
Karate's in his blood.
Yeah, that one just popped into my head.
Love Matt Toledo.
I'm trying to think. There's so many comedians. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's so popular. Which, by the way, if you don't make a lineup, I'm so sorry. There's like literally only so many spots. Maybe produce a show. Like that would be cool. You could put me on your show. I would love to support it and give you any information I can. What are you gonna say?
Just another thing. If you don't make a show, it's also I feel like this is important. We were talked about job interviews before. Just because someone has more experience doesn't mean that you're not good for it.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of times I tell you people who I think would be really good on a show, and you're like, I agree, but for this lineup, they don't work.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like there are times where you're not on a show specifically because you just don't work with the lineup, and you'd be getting set up for failure. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? To have you mixed in with a bunch of people who you don't, you know what I mean, wouldn't work well. You know, like there's...
Yeah, or sometimes it's too much of the same.
Yeah.
You know,
that's true,
because
too.
there's definitely times where I'm like, all right, I've got a clean comedian, I've got a triggering comedian, I've got somebody with this perspective, that perspective, this perspective, and it's just like a good like melody, you know?
Yeah.
And then but my classic example of this is like it would be a flawed producer to put Rex, Sam, those two are best friends, and then to put
Those two could do a duo act.
they could do a duo act and they'd be very funny together, but to put Rex and Sam and then to put just like Dan, Glenn, and Gabe all in the
I'm
same
calling
lineup.
out Jacob and John Leary. I want to see them do a duo act.
I think they already kind of do. It's called their podcast.
No, but I want to see like an on-stage set.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Like I want Jacob to come up with why John's birthday is now relevant to his mom having children during terrorist attacks. Like I need a duo set.
It would be funny to see like
And it's not even. I don't even know if it was terrorist attacks. I don't remember exactly what the joke is. Sorry, Jacob.
yeah, it'd be funny to see like John Leary like kind of dressed up like clean cut and all that kind of stuff, and then to see Jacob like dressed up like a trailer park person, and then
I just want to apologize. You said seeing Sean Leary dressed up, and my head immediately made him the chicken guy from Toy Story.
The chicken guy from
Toy Story 2. The guy who owns Al's Toy Barn, he dresses up in like a chicken costume and he's got glasses.
Okay.
And immediately that's just what I pictured for some reason.
I picture John Leary in many
Maybe Toy Story's on my mind because of course you do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I try to picture John Leary not on Netflix as like To Catch a Murderer.
Oh, it's so rude of you to say that.
I love John Leary. What was I gonna say? But it would be bad to have all of those people on the same lineup because they're all straight white dudes that are of the same age. Like that would be the worst thing you could do because they all have a very similar
point of
perspective. Rex and Sam and Gabe and Dan are all different comedians. They all have different jokes. It's not like they step on a lot of the same stuff. However, the crowd would just be like,
they would feel
it's all just kids here. You know, it's like there's a group of guys
That's
in
why
Albany
I love
that
sometimes when like Alex is on a lineup or David Beckles or like some of the older guys that you know because the crowd identifies some, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have people in the crowd who identify more with that stuff. It's someone who's like your dad, someone who is like your husband, you know what I mean? Like
crowds have kids, they have children, and like those two men can do jokes about their children. And that's something that
David Beckles is just so good at voices.
I know, right? And that's also what makes him unique. Like he's a voices guy. And again, it's just like, do your thing, do what's funny to you and all that kind of stuff. But like, don't be upset when you're not on a lineup because your stuff is similar to somebody else's, and that's like...
There's a lot of reasons not to end up on a lineup.
Yes.
And it's totally cool to ask for a spot on a lineup. And it is cool when you get that time. But I think it's nice to have a spot that's like fitting for you. You know what I mean? Like that's also a cool thing.
But if you're really that upset about it, fucking see what we go through and fucking do one yourself, please. See how anxious it is when it's fucking Wednesday, the show is on Friday and there's no tickets sold. See how anxious it is when you invested $250 in Facebook ads and nothing. See how anxious it gets when comedians are supposed to perform tomorrow and they message you saying, hey, I cannot make it because I forgot to get a car.
See how anxious you are when half hour before the show the comedians have not shown up yet and no one's responding.
I tell you what, there's one comic on one of the Don't Tells that we did that was doing something on Netflix, and I did not want to root for this person because they bailed on a show 5 hours before the fucking show.
But honestly, the person you got to replace them was amazing.
Yep, and thank God for Michael. There's $8 now. Thank God for Michael thinking of him and just being, able to contact him. I mean, Michael has a great connection to a lot of people. I think a lot of people respect Michael because of how funny he is.
He's a good guy.
And he's a very good guy, but I think, honestly, it speaks to how funny Michael is. Because, I mean, there are some shitty people out there in the comedy world. They produce shows and people still work with them.
Yes.
And it's not because they're good people or even because they're funny. It's just because they're they have they produce a really good show. Or
I think that's why Michael will go far though, is because not only is he funny, but he does have a good heart at the end of the day, and so as much as that can hold people back, it also can really get them places.
For sure.
For
sure. Yeah. I mean, he's just gonna Michael. I've said this since the day I met him. He's gonna be somebody big.
He has.
But I also said this about young Gabrielle Johnson.
Yes.
Yep. Very special.
And Elizabeth Becks, also amazing. Another started local. She's not really local here anymore, but
No, Elizabeth Becks.
She left us.
Not funny. not.
She's actually too funny for us as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Another funny one, I love her comedy. She's got good. My favorite thing about her comedy is it feels like it's relatable for women and men, but it doesn't feel overly sexualized, which is, I feel like, a lot of times how men relate to women's comedy. She does a really good job of doing that without having to do that.
Yeah, she doesn't like. She doesn't say I'm sexy or I'm attractive, but she says I've got good drip. You know, like,
but like not even that. Like it's not. It doesn't feel like she's on stage trying to get attention from men with her comedy. When there are unfortunately a lot of female comics where it does feel that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I don't blame some of the male comics for being a little creepy. Like it doesn't make an excuse for it. But there is, I think, a misinterpretation sometimes of, you know what I mean, based on
like if you're a female
context.
comedian on stage and you're like, I sleep around, and then some guy who's
or
never.
For example, we saw an open mic in the city where someone very openly was talking about being a prostitute.
Right. Yeah.
And so someone did make a comment who got on stage after her, and
Yeah,
it's
it
like
was
you
like, how
almost
much?
couldn't blame
Yeah.
that because it's like, well, this is something that you know what I like. It was kind of creepy, but also you just went on for 5 minutes about being a prostitute. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like there is,
Yeah.
you can only blame people so far when you're making something open and okay to talk about. You know, like there is.
Yeah. And like honestly,
lines there.
if you wanted to advocate for
Or like the OnlyFans girls. I know that there are a lot of girls who go to open mics to advertise their OnlyFans sometimes. You know what I mean? That's a thing.
Yeah.
You know, so forgot where we started this.
Yeah. But just, read the room.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, just read the room. Fucking don't be so fucking autistic. Like, God damn it. All right, you gotta pee?
Yeah.
Okay, we're at hour 20 right now, so this is good. Good.
It's been a fun conversation.
Any concluding thoughts? Do you want to plug an Instagram or anything? You're just good.
I feel like honestly, most of the comedians have seen me around or know me probably, who if they've, unless it's some of your farther away shows, most of them have probably met me, seen me, or know me to a degree. I don't need to plug an Instagram. I'm good on that. I have debated, we talked about this, producing my own show because I like producing.
Word.
This producing side of things. That's a very far way out, most likely. I want to find the right location. I'm very picky. Very picky. Right location. Like, there's a lot of things that are going to go into that. But, comedy friends, I might hit you up one day for a spot. Just so you know. That's on my wheelhouse. And anyone who wants cookies, come to the Krog Show tomorrow night.
Mike Philibosian. This is going to be like kicking. He's going to be there before we open tomorrow. I tell you, the cookies, again, a lot of lore, but the last time I was at Rhino, Mike Philibosian was there, and he's like, those cookies were absolutely, I mean, you get this a lot, but it was just so funny because it's the most recent one.
But this is what I mean about producing shows. It's such a little thing that I do because I enjoy making cookies. And I think when you started the shows, I was baking a lot more than I am now. But, and I was trying new recipes. I was doing a bunch of stuff. But it's something that I love doing. It is something that's nice. It's like a nice little perk for the comedians to have. And it just is something that people do remember, and it's a positive thing. And that's where I have a lot of high standards for producing a show, because what's great is for there to be word of mouth for reasons why people want to be on one of your shows. And if people want to be on one of your shows enough, they might attend one of your shows. And it just feels like one of those things that's a good energy.
Yeah. I mean, along with the cookies, I think what's helped the Krog get so popular amongst...
The cookies.
It was the cookies. But what helps the Krog Show get so popular amongst other comedians is, one, we get a great turnout.
Yes.
But also the photographers.
And I will say, I think the Krog is different for me as far as free bar shows. I think free bar shows generally are a difficult crowd. But the Krog Show, you don't have people who are there for anything other than the comedy at that time. People don't come in and hang out just to drink or talk.
Literally don't come to the bar otherwise.
Yeah, the bar it's not closed down to anyone who's not, because it's free. You can come in and buy things and leave if you want to, but no one stays unless they're staying for the comedy. They don't stay to like hang out and have a conversation with their friend.
But
although sometimes people do talk during the show just because they're drunk and that happens. But
rare.
It's not like people are at the bar and then they're held hostage for the comedy show.
Yeah.
Like one time we had a show. Where was it? You had a show. Because by osmosis,
Sure. Your set was good last night. Yeah.
But literally the entire bar left during the show because they felt bad and they didn't want to be talking. So they thought it was better for them all to stand outside than it was to stay in the bar during the show.
Which honestly, I prefer.
And it was better because there was maybe only 4 or 5 people watching the show, but you guys had a great time.
This wasn't that far removed from that Tapped show.
That's
What?
that's the other person who I think is, how do I put this? What's the word I'm thinking of? Unassuming.
Okay.
James
DeSalvo?
Yes. You talk to him and you're like, all right, and then he goes on stage and does his thing and you're like, oh, he's funny. Like he's a good show. He really is. He's another one that I think is honorable mention there.
Love James.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic.
He didn't come to the open mic last night like a fucking schmuck. I really hope it's not the brain tumor again. Yeah, that would be horrible.
No, there's a lot of really cool people in the community doing all kinds of things from producing to performing. And I think it's great. I think it's an awesome thing. And I like being part of it by osmosis.
Yeah. You've assimilated.
Also, I will say, everybody out there, I am an amazing help on productions. If you need one, reach out. I might not answer you. But you can totally ask for my help.
Totally. Yeah, actually, you do a really good job. You're... I know you don't love this part, but one of your favorite best things you're amazing at is telling people where to sit.
Well, I do like...
If you're worried about having a front row with people there, Brittany's very good at that.
I do like being bossy to a degree, and I don't like seating people because I have to talk to people, and that's not my ideal thing. But it does bother me to be at a show and not see somebody seating people, and then I want to do it because I'm bossy, So
yeah, so
it's just better to have that.
So if
job.
you're producing a show and Brittany's there and you're just doing,
I might just start seating people anyway.
Might just start fucking doing it. You don't have to pay her. We've paid you. All right. Well,
we got to get out of here.
We have to get out of here. We have to pee. Likable is filmed and recorded with the Radio Free Ron Cliff. Thank you to Jen Hamoud and Matthew Rosenberg. Jen just walked in. Our producers. And thank you to the Epicurean, which hosts us for each and every episode. Come in, stop and shop, and maybe you'll catch us on the air. Were you going to say something?
David sucks.
Oh, nice. Nice. Come in, stop and shop, and maybe you'll catch us on the air. Likable is a comedy-based podcast where experts at absolutely nothing and should not be taken seriously. Consider this your daily dose of very questionable wisdom and guaranteed hilarity. We hope. Brittany, no last name. Thank you very much for coming on. You're my best friend. You come to so many shows. I appreciate it very much, and I love you. So thank you.
Dope.
Do you want to say who's taking us out of here?
What?
Who's taking us out of here?
Oh, Carl.
Pick me up when this episode ends. Oh, hey. I'm recording this early in the morning because I'm waiting on somebody to come and fix a refrigerator at work. So we're doing this while we're waiting. I hope you're enjoying this episode. This is the Interruptible. All right, so what's going on? We got 8-6. I'm going to be at All the Way Down in New York City. That's going to be a really great show. Carmen Legala is going to be our headliner. We got Pete Stewart on the lineup. That's not the photographer, Pete Stewart. We have a comedian, Pete Stewart. Very funny guy. Joe Gerbo and myself. And then on 8-7, we got the Krog Show. Very excited for that. That's going to be, I'm working on the set tonight and the next day and the next day. We're doing all of it. On 8 are going to be at Don't Tell Comedy. That's going to be in Pearl River. I really thought that was flipped around. That's exciting, though. That's cool. On 8/15, going to be Don't Tell Comedy in Nyack, New York. That's also very exciting. On 8/19, going to be in Brooklyn at Cafe Mia. That's going to be a pretty solid one. We were supposed to do that one last month. We got moved. That's all right. That happens. On 8/21, Comedy at the Park is getting canceled. I'm gonna leave it up there, but take it off. Don't plan on going to that. I'm free on 8/21. 8/22, gonna be at Don't Tell Comedy in Kingston, New York. This is very exciting. Then on 8/23, Comedy Social in Cape Cod. That one's also gonna be very cool. I'm potentially gonna be doing Boston on 8/24. Super exciting time. On 8/27, we're going to be at Don't Tell Comedy in Hudson, New York. A lot of Don't Tells this month. That's the thing, is that I'm telling everybody. I don't think I should be, but we're here. We're doing it. I want to say I'm forgetting a show somewhere is in there, but you know what? Fuck it. We ball. Okay? We have a great time. We're going to hang out with our friends. We're going to tell great stories. We're going to live great lives. And you know what? Thank you for listening to this episode. Y'all have been fantastic. And I appreciate you. And I would love it if you subscribe to the newsletter. That would be cool. That would be quite nice. But this message is getting a little long, and I need to call my mom. All right, have a good one.